I'm watching some of the most recent videos from Geeks and Gamers. In particular, the one I was just watching. I started watching the one about. I think it's the thumbnail says "Stay woke." It's about Star Wars Resistance. No, actually, I think it's a different one. No, the Stay Woke isn't the Star Wars Resistance one. This one I'm talking about is the Star Wars Resistance one. Um, 11,000 up, 93,000 down. A comment by George Lucas. Uh, 13,000 up votes. And Jeremy says, Disney, wake up, Disney, wake. Jeremy says, wake up, Disney. Um, I was talking briefly on Twitter today with this Stephanie. What is it? Netzer. I wonder if that's Stephanie Jenisek. I kind of okay. My language isn't great, but I kind of laid out the the basic architecture, basic bones of Star Wars Resolution and SVMX, saying that like, fuck it, let Disney crash the franchise and then the fans will buy the IP. And she's like, no, we don't want that. We want good Star Wars, or we want Star Wars back or something. Now, it made me realize, and I think it was maybe the second time that I realized this. That it's not that what other people want is more important than what you want, but it is about value. And when you're bringing value, or when the idea is to bring value to people, you don't try and bring them what you want and sell them that as being valuable. But I combine the two. I can put the two of them together. If I was king and somebody came in and said, "King, do you want the IP released to the fans, or do you want Disney to fucking cop themselves on?" I would have to say, ask the fans. If they want Disney to do it, you know, make it so. In my heart, no. In my heart, yeah. I didn't start off this way. The way it is now, for practical reasons, for realpolitik, and for artistic reasons and a whole bunch of other entrepreneurial reasons, I am already retooled and geared up for the Ivan Ortega Express. Unless you retcon episode 8 as Abu Naz says, it's over. Like, if something happens and Disney retcons episode 8 and or turns the whole fucking thing around, that makes the fans happy, the vocal minority, the 93,000 downvotes and resistance, well then so be it. Like, I'm still gonna do my thing anyway. I maybe appeal to a much smaller group or something. With the Polish flag, red head and white legs. Look how fucking white these legs are. Jesus, like, this isn't raw chicken and this is cooked chicken. A lot of stretching to do still. So I'm still going to do my thing. Star Wars Resolution will go on and advance. And SVMX is the name of the game. And then it comes down to basically may the best man win. Like, I'm going to go against Disney. Absolutely, 100%. It's not that I don't trust the universe. Because if there's one thing the universe has proved itself to me to be quite capable of, and that's going against me, going against the way I think it's going to play out. So it is, it's like 51% that the universe will support Star Wars. Coming back around and making the Phantom Menace happy. But I don't trust it. I don't think. I think the momentum is with my idea. That's why I designed my idea the way it is, because that is a design based on where I see the momentum. See the momentum with Star Wars Resolution and with SVMX. I'm going to plug it away. I'm going to continue to give it my all. I just did 3 videos there, a little mini series, micro series, nano series on phase transition and emergence for me over the last, the last week has been insane. I had no plan going forward. I had a whole bunch. Okay, I had all the fucking components laid out, but fucking door scared the shit out of me when it opened. I had all the components of the next few phases of play. It's like, we'll say a rugby game, right? No, I don't know anything about rugby, but I'm using it as an example because that's the only place I've ever heard them talk about the phases of play, and that phrase means a lot to me. I understand what that means. It's like all the boys on the field, they know the score. They know how to play. They know the moves. They know the set plays. They know the other team. They know everything. They know the phases of play. They've all been there before. They've loads of practice done, loads of caps. But they don't know how the game is going to go because the game hasn't been played. This particular game has not been played yet. I have all the pieces. Continuing resolution from top to bottom. But up until those 3 videos I shot over the last couple hours, I had no idea how this particular game was going to go. This game being Star Wars Resolution SVMX. But now I have a decent feel for how it's going. Jesus, my lower back. See this now. Look at that. Look at that for posture. That is killing me here. Where Gary is always poking himself with the little bits of metal. This is postural realignment. That feels good. Abu Naz, you're a man who's into his physical therapy. This is the rehabilitation center. This is the Abunaz Rehabilitation Center, Regional Office, Ireland. First Jedi Temple, First Harmonic Proxy Circuit. Terminal Leia, Terminal Luke. I'm going to show you the sunset, actually. The sun is setting right now. It's setting over Count Chabelle. It's darker in reality than it is that is showing up on the screen here. Fucking intruder alert. See, you can see the glow. It's basically that color is not far off this color. It's just the intensity on this float point. It's the blandy that's hanging off the pole there, but it's a lot closer. It's not a thing. Anyway, it's way too bright. So the point is that Star Wars Resolution SVMX, my considered educated opinion is that this is the play. But I am almost always wrong. You know, it's like calling the play. And this is something that people who will understand from a lot of different sports. Pretty much all fucking sports, I say. All team sports. Call the play. You see this in movies about American football. So I'm calling the play. Right now. This is a crystallized moment. I'm calling the play. It's Star Wars Resolution SVMX. Let's see what happens. I hope that whatever happens, the fans get theirs first up. Like, and I'm not going to take this idea that people don't know what they want. That way of looking at it is less attractive to me than the way that Gary Vaynerchuk looks at it. He says, I know what you're going to do before you do. I prefer that because like this, I think this narrative that you don't know what you want, I don't think that's appropriate anymore. I think that's why that's why Disney's doing what they're doing, and that's why they're failing. And these goddamn shills don't understand that does not work anymore. It worked for a while because whatever, people weren't paying attention or whatever, but don't confuse paying attention with ignorance. Here's the fucking boom. They were confusing ignorance with ignorance. And this actually plays right into one of Anna's most recent videos that Star Wars girl talking. Oh man, such a hard like talking about some fucking troll that called her ignorant, and she gives this whole fucking speech about ignorance. I think Disney confused ignorance with ignorance, but there's ignorance no moreance. Fucking, they're not ignorance anymore. So, if the value is number one, good Star Wars. However, that is achieved. It's secondary. if it fails the way that people think it's going to come or should come, it's like that old soundbite about whoever the fuck said it about the car. Was it Henry Ford or whoever, fucking somebody else saying something along the lines of, I don't know, it probably wasn't even Henry. Somebody said, if we asked the people what they wanted, they would have said better horse-drawn carriages, in reference, obviously, to the motor car. There's a grain of truth in that. There is, therefore, but it's not. It's the delivery. The means of delivery is not important. It's the product. Disney has the means of delivery, but not the product. I believe I have the product. I believe I see the product. I don't have it, I see it. It's Ivan Ortega in his Fixed It. And it's all the fan films. I don't see how we can retcon episode 8, like. And if you basically, and the whole kind of premise of Star Wars Resolution is, short of bringing back Carrie Fisher, I don't see how we were going to not only appease, it's not about appeasing the fans, the angry fans, the fandom menace. It's about knocking their socks off. It's about blowing their minds. See, here's the thing. We're at -10 now. -10 for the Yanks. It's not about coming back to 0. It's about getting up to +10 or +10. Does Disney have the fucking capacity to do that? No, they don't. Does Disney have the capacity to facilitate that? Yes. But the operative word here is facilitate. That's it. So you can take the 3 videos I posted prior to this and apply them to what I just said there over the last 19 minutes, nearly. 1836 is what it was, which reduces to 1-2. What was I saying? Basically, I laid out the road to my impetus earlier, and I've just given you the driver, the approach, the philosophy, the vector for that, really. I'm about the IP. I'm about, like I said before, it'll do me no harm to go over it again just to refresh it in my own head. Galactic credits. If we could secure the release of the term galactic credits, and this is a conceptual approach. That's kind of sketching out a strategy. If we could get the release of the IP on Galactic Credits, and by we I mean me, I will not assume anybody else has any interest in being a part of this. Having said that, though, basically 90 fucking percent certain that this is going to happen anyway. It's just not going to have anything to do with me. Like, although I am designing this, all it really is me looking at the fucking clouds on the horizon and figuring out what the weather's going to do tomorrow. It doesn't mean I'm doing anything to affect the weather tomorrow. I'm just reading the fucking signs. It's like reading the story in the headline in the newspaper. You didn't create the headlines. You just read the goddamn headline. You didn't create the story. You read the headline off the paper. So basically, Star Wars Resolution SVMX is a prediction or a forecast, rather than like I had to develop and employ a design logic in order to be able to Alexa, fuck's sake. I had to. Oh god, here we go.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Although I had to design and employ a design logic to be able to read the tea leaves or read the clouds or read the fucking newspaper headlines, that's as far as I needed to go. Because basically, the guy who reads the weather isn't the weather. He's not the guy that causes the weather. He's just the guy who fucking reads what the weather looks like it's going to be. So, SVMX and Star Wars Resolution is my read currently on what the weather is going to be, and it's all the time updating. As events precipitate, the fulcrums shift, and the trajectory amends itself. I never said it that way before, the fulcrums shift. I always talk about shifting the fulcrums. That's new ground for me. Anyway, so this is what I see. Star Wars Resolution is what I see happening. So, within the context of that, we're talking about release the IP of Galactic Credits. Maybe this is the part where I come in, where I actually do a bit of fucking work and maybe contribute to the process rather than just trying to track these multiple targets and figure out where's the fucking swarm going to wind up at a particular point in time where I can take the shot and knock one of them out. Knock out the fucking leader, or knock out the fulcrum, or knock out the keystone, basically. Galactic Credits, IP release and capture, investment, interest, off the back of memetics, most likely. That's the path of least resistance. Minimal investment for everybody. Dividend then. Value goes up because of the interest. It basically becomes like it's like a volcanic island that just appears overnight. in the fucking ocean. And all of a sudden, you've got this new surface that is, advertisers are just going to be fucking magnetized. Advertisers are going to be like, they'll be magnetically attracted. Because it's a surface that has it's cooled after it's, boiling, spectacular, impactful bubble into existence, cools enough, and it's land. It's a surface. It's mineral rich, valuable real estate. Attention, attention, attention. All the attention is on it. That's all you need. Like, that's people don't even think twice. They just click. Just like, what's this? And when like Gary Vee sees a whole bunch of people saying, what's this? He's gonna put on a video. Hey, this is Gary Vee. Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk. Looking for your 2 cents on what is this? Hit me up, swipe up. First in line hashtag. And then you've got an ecosystem developing. You're off to the races. That's what you want. And then it's time to make a deal. Then it's time to trade. So, like, that's the first step. That's all you need. Like, that's the backbone of the concept. However that gets done, we shall see. I have to hang the clothes in here for tonight because they didn't get. I put them out late. They're not dry. Hopefully tomorrow will be a good day. Or dry them tomorrow, rather than leaving them in the basket to fucking get all crinkled and fucking damp, shitty smelling. Posture. So the idea is that the share price of Galactic Credit on the way up will meet the share price of Disney Lucasfilm on the way down. And it doesn't matter, like, the only way that this shit won't work is if it doesn't matter. Even if the share price of Lucasfilm increases, if the share price rise of Galactic Credits outpaces the share price of Lucasfilm, within a time frame of, I don't know. See, here's where patience comes in. The next couple of years. I mean, I'm tempted to say I want, like, the next 6 months. I'm tempted to say 12 months. I'm tempted to say before the release of episode 9. But no, this could take forever. But then again, the pace of decline is phenomenal. Disney's really losing. Timing is the factor here. It could happen in a week. It could take 10 years. And I'm prepared for it to take 10 years because I'll just pivot anyway. I'm at a point now where I can do that. My nervous system is sufficiently rehabilitated, regenerated, recalibrated that I have no problem waiting 10 years. The longer it takes, the bigger and badder the fucking the scheme, the project, the more impactful if this shit were to go down like Q4 this year, it would have to flare in order to work because there isn't that much time between here and there. It would have to be like a sparkler, a firecracker. So it could happen in the short term, the near term, the long term, or the mid term. Three very different crystallization processes to go back to the volcanic island eruption formation analogy and into crystallography and of course pleochroism. Alignment, a rapidly setting crystalline structure is going to be different to a slowly setting crystalline matrix. Rapid cooling, like, and not only rapid cooling, but it could be rapid heating and rapid cooling, or it could be slow heating and then an exponential an inflection point, exponential curve, and then rapid cooling. If rapid cooling is required, which it is, I mean, we are talking about quantum annealing here, but it's the curve. No, the curve on the downside is like a drop off, but what's the curve going to be like on the upside? Is it going to be like this? Is it going to be like this? Like this? Is it going to be like this? You know? That is filament design. I just illustrated the concept of filament design for myself. That's big, you know? That puts this off because I remember, I have to do the whole filament thing. And that takes forever. But it brings it a lot closer because I just got filaments. So I'll wrap this up now. What are we at? Fucking 32 minutes and 47 seconds. To wrap this up, it's a very simple concept in a sketch scheme. Outperform and outmaneuver, possibly by outmaneuvering Disney stock with Galactic credits. By the release of the IP across the board. Essentially, get the Disney Lucasfilm infrastructure for the fandom, which basically, and here's your streaming service, Disney. You're not streaming the fucking pictures because you're making shite pictures. You're streaming the workflow. You're providing, you're not renting the IP either. You're providing a service, a streaming service, where, and you, oh man, this becomes like fucking plug and play, like modular, rapid turnover, like a conveyor belt in a sense. You know, like when they motorize, when they industrialize, we'll say motor vehicle production. What's that called? Basically, you want to turn Disney Lucasfilm into a machine, just like Gary Vaynerchuk is turning VaynerX into a machine to process IPs. But you're not processing IPs, you're doing the reverse. You are the IP. You're processing people's films. So a fan film crew comes along, makes their film. They run it through like your mill. Disney Lucasfilm is like a mill, or it's like a lathe or something. Run it through that, and they come out with a production quality Star Wars movie, fan movie. 9 minutes long, 32 minutes long. BYOC, Bravo, Yankee, Oscar, Charlie, bring your own canon. Bring your own canon. There we go. Story credits. The value of the fucking movie will hinge on how rigorous, how legit is your canon. Another way of saying that, and a more pragmatic way of saying that, is your interpretation of canon. It's like, Alright, so fuck canon. Let's start Constitution. I mean, Disney, let's face it, Disney has fucked up canon. Fuck canon. How about Constitution? Star Wars Constitution. Your interpretation of the Constitution. This is getting good. So we're getting away from church and we're going towards state. But republic. Constitution and republic. It's almost like it was a fucking setup from the start. Not hard to get your head around, because I'm just basically illustrating the concepts that Lucasfilm copied or referenced to begin with. So it's coming full circle. Lost in translation, Disney. Everyone wants to be found. That's not what I want to fucking... I want the part that says sometimes in order to find yourself... No, sometimes you have to go halfway around the world to come full circle. See how I have the tagline for Lost in Translation in my head, even though it's not the one on the goddamn cover. And this is not the fucking Mandela effect. It's just a different cover. Sometimes you have to go halfway around the world to come full circle. Lucasfilm, George Lucas told a story based off of concepts we understand. Things like republics, right? And empires. He made a machine called Lucasfilm to process this story. It ended up getting called canon, which is a religious term. Okay, you're getting towards the Jedi order, the religious thing. How about we come full circle back around to the constitutional? The Republic. So it's not that mad at all. It makes perfect sense. It's actually the most boring, obvious fucking thing in the world. And but you'll have to forgive me because I am dumb, number one. But number two, I am new to Star Wars, as in new to the universe. I seen the movies in the 80s, the early 80s. Had toys and stuff, but never got into it, I never studied it, should I say. I was hooked emotionally and spiritually and all that from the fucking get-go. But I never became a constitutional scholar. But now I am getting into it this way. I hereby declare open and incarnate the concept of Star Wars constitutional scholarsdom, scholastics. You see, when you get to scholar and yeah, whatever. So, just like it's just really another it's just a modernization, a bog standard, next level iteration, evolution of Lucasfilm, and that is stop being a dick. Stop thinking. I mean, it's only since 2012 that you're behaving like this anyway. Just modernize, man. Listen to Gary Vee. This is the way it's going. This is the way it's fucking gone already. Make the shift from assuming the fandom have been ignorant to assuming or understanding that they've been ignorant. Release the IP. Will say even intergalactic credits. So it's like, I don't care who you are. Lucasfilm is now open for business. It's like a car wash. It's B2C. Now you're going to understand that we're your customers. What customer means. You're going to provide like a puppy wash fucking business. It's going to be a car wash. It's going to be fucking drive-through, In-N-Out burger. People are going to come through with their scripts, with their movie ideas, with their actors. They're going to use your facilities. You're going to re-kit your whole fucking operation to be plug and play. This is easiest for you and it's easiest for us. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. In and out. Movie made. Star Wars official. Oh, it's all. Everything runs through your fucking production house, your washing house, your wash house is official. However, the value of all of it hinges on the interpretation of the Constitution, of the Star Wars Constitution. And if you want, you can hold Star Wars Constitution. You can have judges. The public will be the judge, like, but what you can have is, holders of the Constitution. Like, basically it's going to be secretary, and there's going to be little bits of corruption here and there and all that. That's fine. What happen anyway? But you basically be like fucking librarians. You'll be like the guys at First Jedi Temple, the slug nuns. So based on, it's like if Abu Naz wants to put a crew together and we're trying, Geeks and Gamers want to put a crew together, and I want to put a crew together, and we each go and make a movie and run it through your car wash. Depending on our interpretation of the Constitution, and how that resonates with the public, with the fandom, the value of our movie will go up. More people will want to go see it. More returns. Now, my interpretation of the Constitution is I have just declared the existence of the Constitution as my interpretation of canon. I'm starting Star Wars. My interpretation of the Constitution is I'm rendering into existence the Constitution as an interpretation of canon. because from where I'm sitting, Disney are after making a dog's dinner of canon. I believe this is over 45 minutes. This is really good though. I'm getting there. Like this is sketches, overlays. It's like butter paper sketches. I'm tired though. Grinding the fucking teeth. Like this isn't good. Fix the posture. Reconnect the cables, the cords, the conduit in the back. Get the energy flowing. Get the fucking torsion, the hypertorsion, hypertorsion, oscillation sorted out. Free up the traffic. I'm in the right leg now. It's just iteration. It's over and over and over and over and over repetition, man. Fuck, killer. That's all it is, though. So, we'll wrap up now very shortly. I'm getting tired. So, we're talking about now Disney Lucasfilm. You just... It's really no different than what's there right now. I mean, you hire a different fucking director for every movie. Well, JJ, Ryan, JJ. Was it did Filoni? I don't know. So instead of just hiring directors, I mean, expand it, open it out to make that your streaming service. Like I said, have your skeleton crew, your squad, like I don't know, 12 6-man teams, and have them all in their have a little village. And each fucking like the teams, the squads rotate around rapido, like lighten their feet around the facilities, and they stream. There's a stream of movie houses, pop-up picture houses coming through, making Star Wars videos, paying in galactic credits. Because the capacity is there now. You know, there's what, 7.5 billion people? Talk about an anchor tenant. Talk about a fucking anchor tenant. You want to get like all of Africa online. You want to get all of Asia. You want to get everybody online. Star Wars is the way to attract them. It'll spread like a fucking virus. Might have your work cut out for you penetrating China after the fucking shit you pulled the Last Jedi. They weren't too happy about that. They weren't too happy with that by all accounts. By very few accounts. But I can't imagine that they were happy. So you can attract if you go to people with a streaming service. We stream your movie. You make a Star Wars movie. With an incentive. People will. What better way to get people creating content? The incentive is create content, make Star Wars movies. In order to do that, you have to come online. You have to start engaging with the internet, like high bandwidth, not just like few tweets here and there, a few YouTube videos. You have to get into production, and then you've got like all these nodes, like loads of fucking hundreds and thousands of people, like the crews all around the world, Because if you streamline this process, loads of people want to do it. Like, you'll have kids like doing this twice a day. You'll have teenagers doing it like once a week. Making Star Wars movies. And like all the skills, all the artistic fucking creative skills, and endeavor and work has to go into it. And they all get a shot at getting their stories into canon. Because it's interpretation of the Constitution. You just have to, obviously. And you can have like a Supreme Court. Supreme Court of the Star Wars Expanding Universe. SCSEU. 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 SCSEU, or the High Council. The High Council. And their job is to preside over what is Constitution. And this just feeds back into interaction. If the fucking High Council well, I mean, if the High Council come out and declare that there was no Darth Vader, it's like, okay, Dick, your value just went way down. We're not listening to you. But if it was like, I don't know, what happened to Ahsoka's second boyfriend, then you've got fucking, you can go on for weeks. You can have your big fat fucking council members, pontificating over brandy and fucking cigars. But that would be a draw. That would be a way to get people. I mean, people are already primed. It's real easy to fucking shoot. I'm streaming now on YouTube on my phone. Imagine if, like, me streaming now, and it's like the filters in Snapchat. Imagine me now streaming this here. That just like almost as easy as, or at least as, elegant the concept as the filters you put on the little bunny ears and shit in Snapchat. That I run this stream through a Star Wars filter, a Lucasfilm filter, a Lucas filter. And it gets Lucasfilm production quality. And I'm not saying like as I'm fucking streaming now. What I'm saying is like this is the concept. I've produced future Star Wars content. Future Star Wars content. And then I can float that on the exchange, on the open exchange, the SVMX. And this is right up fucking Gary Vaynerchuk's alley. Production. Cross-platform integration. As an attractor. As a means of attracting. Because you need something high impact. Otherwise, kids would be like, I'm not fucking... Why would I bother do that? Lightsaber. If kids could buy a lightsaber, a functional, not one that'll burn you, but just, one that'll kind of produce a glowy beam. That it'll pass through anything, but maybe the beams won't pass through each other or something. Kids will be making movies like that. And the parents would love it. The parents would be like, this is the best. The parents would be pulling their kids out of school to send... I mean, you talk about unlimited Uber. Unlimited Lucasfilm streaming. unlimited Lucas filter. You'd have unlimited Lucas filter. Of course, kids be doing like fucking trying weird shit, like jumping off of trains and stuff. But like, there is a certain degree of fucking personal responsibility and parental responsibility. People do that. Kids do it anyways. We were throwing rocks at each other way back. So, fuck that as a. If you don't want to fucking. If you think it's a bad idea, those kids will be fucking having lightsaber battles on the top of moving trains, well. I was going to say, don't let your kids do that, but it's exactly your kids that'll end up being the fucking kids that do that. So now we're at Lucas filter. This is good. I think now is probably a good time to fucking actually wrap up. Wind down a little bit. Alexa, play Princess Leia's theme. Alexa, play Princess Leia's theme. Alexa, play Princess Leia's theme. Oh, for God's sake, Alexa. Alexa's not on board. Alright. I'm just gonna fucking rephase here. Question for myself. Am I happy with where this is going? I am very happy. This is making more and more sense. It's still pie in the sky, no doubt about that, but I'm using, as they say, commercial off-the-shelf technology in terms of concepts. Oh, I forgot the missing ingredient. Game. The whole game resolution. So, some people will make movies. Others will make games. And what's the difference between a game and a movie? If you could stream a game, if a bunch of guys, like a movie studio, wanted to make a movie, right? And take seven and all this kind of stuff. Fair enough, class. That's one way of doing it. But what if a bunch of dudes came along and it's like, we want to play a movie. We want to game a movie. We want to play a game. Just like fucking Battlefront. And that you provide the Lucas filter for that. Run it through your streaming service. Fucking daddy long legs flying around. And then that that could get more. I mean, the way things is going right now, that would get far more attention and rack up far more value than the movie. But then again, I mean, sometimes, like, sometimes, pick a world that only has games, a world that only has movies, or a world that has both games and movies. Now, after all that fucking yabber, just all the way back around to fucking, essentially it's Battlefront 2. That's what it is. I mean, I watched some of that. That was like a fucking movie. Here's the thing, though. uh, Finding the bonding agent for gameplay and movie quality was not the problem. That's done. That's been achieved by Battlefront. The problem is essentially making it open source. This is causing me a lot of stress. Now, I appreciate Disney probably does not like to hear the words open and source together in the same sentence, especially when associated with their their name, their brand, their business model. That's why the term streaming is in the mix. It's like open source streaming, or it's like streaming open source. Uh, like this could definitely, like, this is scalable. This could work at scale. If this could be proved to work at scale or interpreted as being a safe bet that it can scale, you could bring the cost could come right down. It'd be like a game of Quasar. It's like, I mean, how many actors are in these fucking movies anyway? Oh man, I just had a great idea. The 501st. You could have different squads. Because you know the way in a lot of these movies, fan films, there's only like fucking half a dozen or fucking 3 stormtroopers. You could have, like, not staff. Not staff. But there could be like a picture house, like Boogie Storm or the 501st. There could be an outfit, a studio, or whatever you want to call them, an outfit, a squad of like 40 guys. And they each have stormtrooper fucking costume. You could hire them for your movie, or you could collaborate with them. So, like, you could get 2 movies out of the same movie. The stormtrooper guys could be making a movie from their point of view, like, according to their script. You know, other guys, I don't know, Jedi guys or fucking bounty hunter guys could be making a bounty hunter movie. You each feature in each other's movie, just like multiplayer games. And the whole thing is open to negotiation. You deal, you know, you it's a collab, like, it's a collaboration. Rather than this model whereby it's like you rent 40 stormtroopers and they're just like dummies. Just guys, actors. Like, they're doing their own movie too. They don't have to. One of their jobs could be go show up at this fucking crowd's movie, do what they fucking ask you to do, or, you know, you design an interaction together, do that, and that's it. Job done. Another one could be like they come and work for you, be in your movie. Another one is you're both in each other's movie. Same script, different perspectives, or it's just a crossover, or like you'd have bits of movies being in bits of movies. That would oh man, that would integrate a network. You would get network effect real quick in Star Wars. You would get Mass Effect. And the tech is there, the system is there to do that now. Like, I'm not saying it's only a matter of time before this happens, but it's only a matter of time before this can happen. That this has high potentiality to happen. Now, after saying all that, you know what? I'd say there's an 89% chance that this is what Disney's doing anyway. That this is the fucking road they're already on. For whatever reason, it hasn't come into the fucking this part of the fandom. Maybe it's because the only thing that this part of the fandom is listening to is Rian Johnson. Maybe it hasn't just hasn't come out. Whatever. I don't know. You know what? Galaxy's Edge could be it. It could be the streaming service. The in and out. The car wash. Or it could be retooled or upgraded to be that. Or at the very worst, very least, it could be a concept, a proof of concept, or a prototype. That's what I'm going to do here. SVMX on Dingle Peninsula. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. Like, imagine if like Lucasfilm set up shop here and ran the streaming service for Disney. And built like a Lucas filter sheds or rigs, Lucas filter rigs around the peninsula. I mean, we're not that far from Pinewood, you know. This is Southwest Ireland. There's an airport just down the road. You could fly. You could fly. You could run a fucking. I mean, there's a regular service from Berlin to Kerry Airport, Fan 4. I'm sure there's a service to London. You could go like whatever airport is closest to Pinewood. You could even build a fucking airstrip at Pinewood. You could have Pinewood to fucking to First Jedi Temple, to Proxy Circuit. You could have Pinewood to Proxy Circuit. You could have the Pinewood Express. You could have the Pinewood to Proxy Service. Damn, Proxy Service. The Proxy Service. You could have the Pinewood to Proxy Circuit Express. You could have the Pinewood to Proxy Circuit Service. The Proxy Service. Alexa, Simon says Proxy Service. Right, so we have the Proxy Service. To fucking ground all of this with terminology, so I remember. It's what it is. It's printing circuits. That's how it works for me anyway. Print circuits, Proxy Service, all that spiel, like all the way up to now. The fact that I've anchored that now at Proxy Service, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I can go all the way back. I even got like mapping out the transport, the fucking logistics. So rigs, you could have Lucas filter rigs all around. Star Wars Resolution, Lucas Filter Rigs doing running Disney streaming service, where people come and fucking they game Star Wars Resolution. Whether that's like, and see, as it stands, like I'm not up to speed, so like, forgive the ignorance, but in my head, you've got movies and you've got games, and the likes of Battlefront, you've got like movie games. Like there's like, it's gameplay, but it's got movie quality too. Now imagine like multi-fork, a whole bunch of different concepts. You've got movies, games, movie games, fucking movie games, movie game. You're starting to get into fucking. You got into binary then, with fucking MG, MMG, MG, MMG, GMG, MMG, from fucking all started from movie game M and G. So SVMX then, I don't know what the fuck SVMX does, runs the whole show. Or SVMX maybe, I don't know, sets it up, maintains it. Like, SVMX could be a client. No. Lucasfilm, Disney could be a client of SVMX. So Disney hires SVMX and it's like, hey, do that fucking Star Wars Resolution thing. SVMX would be like, yep, you got it. And then maybe someone else will come along. And the best part about it is the V in SVMX is a reference. It's inspired by the V in VaynerMedia, Vaynerchuk. That guy, his operation has already fucking proved itself. Now, would I be a client of him, of Vayner, or would Vayner be a client of me? Would it be a collaboration? But here's the thing, the pieces are all already there, pretty much. And like, see this. There's I saw a video of, I don't know, Disney working on like VR. Working on VR. So you put on a headset like this and you get your little saber lamp. That's my word for it. And you put down the mask and and then you go, cut. There's like, what the fuck is wrong with the sound effects guy? All right, in 3, 2, 1. No, wrong. We have to get the sound effect right if I'm going to fucking sell this content. Beatbox. If the fucking beatbox this shit, you get the concept. So, I mean, you don't want to be going around like wearing this fucking shit, obviously. But like, you could. You could like conceivably do, and they probably already have them fucking built. Develop these things where you don't need this. That whatever like camera, wherever the cameras are that's watching you, they put in the Lucas filter. There's like just like that Star Wars app. There's like soundboard, sound suite or whatever. It's like sound effects, but it's like sonoluminescent effects. So there's no like there wouldn't have to be any post production. They're filters, so it's like live fucking post production. So like you go in and whatever the cameras are fucking on drones or up in like trees or fucking you've got GoPros on whatever, or the people are just fucking filming with their phone, right? And you're holding this fucking stick with a bulb on the top. And what's being picked up on the camera is a legit fucking Lucasfilm post-production quality lightsaber blade. The whole shebang, like. That would be a good start. And I'd say the tech is already well there. It's just integrating the business model, the concept, and understanding what you can do with streaming service. Now, that is me fucking out ski. I'm not even going to try that anymore. I have to put some Star Wars in the video because it's a fucking Star Wars video. Prove it's a Star Wars video. It's all I have at the moment.